I live in Los Angeles, where the rainfall is maybe 14 inches a year average. Here, average 14 feet. Early morning, and it's pretty disconcerting to be driving to a trailhead and already see this, especially after driving all the way from Los Angeles to Washington State's Olympic Peninsula. I can only hope someone forgot to turn off the sign from yesterday. So just to show how cutthroat the parking is around here, I got to this lot at 7:30 and most of the spaces around me were empty. Went to the bathroom, came back, they're all full. So usually the early hiker gets the solitude. Not this place. To find the trailhead, walk through the hiker parking lot toward the restrooms and look for this sign on the left. And then continue to here. Expect people. Lots of people. Luckily, most visitors are satisfied after seeing a few ferns and leave. The whole river trail is in fact pretty empty. So, this is the menu of possibilities. We're only going as far as Happy for Shelter. Almost immediately, we can see why the rainforest is such a major attraction. This is dense, green, and lush. It feels as though I could get swallowed whole by simply stepping off the trail. For all the hikers that tromp through here, the whole rainforest appears untouched and primeval. I half expect a woolly mammoth to be lurking behind a Sitka spruce. Nothing wows like big trees. The rainforest is dominated by Sitka spruce and western hemlock. The size of these guys, 300 feet, 23 feet in diameter. While mostly flat, the trail does have a few moments of climbing, and none of the several stream crossings involve wet boots. Along with the monster trees that grow here, I think the moss gives the place an extra mystical, ethereal feel. Now, I can also appreciate how it grows on plants without actually harming them. The name for that is epiphyte. And epiphytes get their water and nutrients from the air, rain, fog, and debris that piles up alongside them. This is one of the largest temperate forests in the United States. Now, temperate partially being defined by how much rainfall it gets. And as I said before, this is really a wet place. Most of that rain comes during the winter. And if you like soggy, muddy hiking, well then by all means come at that time. No doubt you'll have the place to yourself. We finally come to a junction for the Happy Four camp, with a sign that looks as old as some of the trees. The short path ends at several sites with plenty of level ground for tents. We've definitely left the crowds behind us. The Happy Four shelter doesn't exist anymore. The Forest Service tore it down several years ago in an effort to make for a more wilderness experience. And the name Happy Four, well, that doesn't refer to how many miles it is from the trailhead. I've actually hiked close to 6. No, it comes from what is probably an apocryphal story, but here goes. In the 1930s, 4 Forest Service employees built the shelter that no longer exists, and they got along so badly, one of them sarcastically referred to the spot as the Happy Four shelter. There you go. That's it. Absolutely take the time to walk out to the Hoh River. As relaxing a place as you can get. We see the Hoh River several times along the trail. Now, the word Hoh, by the way, comes from the Quinault language, and there is no direct translation into English, although some people think it means fast white water. The Hoh River comes out of the Olympic Mountains glaciers and dives down 7,000 feet and 50 miles to the ocean. The Hoh tribe that has lived here for thousands of years fish the river using fish trap weirs. And interestingly, they tread on the land so lightly, they left few, if any, remnants for archaeologists to study. The return hike, which is no less wonderful in its eye-candy goodness, I mean, how could you get tired of all this, is obviously the same route we took to get here. My suggestion, don't rush it and savor the beauty. No matter how many ferns we've seen, or tall trees, or moss, we can always appreciate a few more. Once we get to the trailhead, follow the signs back to the parking lot. Good one. And on the way out, we see the best reason for having gotten here in the early morning.